heavy on himself. He can't keep up on one thing, let alone keeping up on more. Now he's looking confused at one of his phones. Hi, we're about to start number 8. So if you've tuned in, hi, if you're there. We'll start off by doing videos and then we'll go to questions, what I've been up to this week, then videos and questions. You let me know when you're ready on this.
I'm ready.
Are you?
Yep.
You don't look real ready. This is much better because the light over here, I was trying to look through the thing so I could see you, and it's much better this way.
You can start whenever you're ready.
Oh, so we're going?
You can start.
My name's Langeder and I'm an equine soft tissue therapist. I specialise in treating muscular issues in performance horses.
Whenever you're ready.
Right. Okay. Welcome to that Langeder Equine Show, number 8, episode 8. There you go. 8's a lucky number, apparently. Anyway, we're going live on a few different things. If you're going live or if you're there, feel free to ask questions. The whole idea of this is to educate people, teach people about their horses, show people how to check soreness. Like I often say, I'm Mr. Miyagi, teaching people how to paint the fence. So I just thought that this is all about teaching you how to check if your horse is sore and how to know what to do with it. The way we do it is we use videos, and I will break down the videos, and Drew's already looking confused at the TikTok thing. I'll break down the videos that I've done this week or videos that Drew's chosen. He usually surprises me, so I have no idea what we're about to look at, aside from his little notes to himself. My week this week has been an interesting one. I see that we've actually got a Benedetta video. I flew out to Sydney early this week for Benedetta. She's in the Silver Eagle today. She's going to be, or she is the favourite. I hear that she's in awesome condition, which is fantastic to hear because it means I've done my job. And so hopefully she goes well. I'm just going to grab my iPad, have a look at the other. Oh, the other one was Renee Schiffer with Rick's Cafe. Rick's Cafe flew home yesterday in the Pinka. It was pretty, amazing. The horse is amazing. So if you have a black bookie thing or whatever, you have to do Rick's Cafe. You have to put it on. Rhiannon Schiffer. I keep calling her Renee. What the fuck? Rhiannon Schiffer, one horse trainer, one horse. The horse is awesome. Anyway, been to Urel's usually. Rhiannon Schiffer, Shane Nichols. Shane Nichols is I've been treating for ages. Wendy Kelly, Alex Ray, Normal, Nikki Burke, Trevor Andrews, Rory Hunter. Who else? David Feek. So, these are all small trainers, but you know what? They're doing really cool. This morning, before I did this, I've already been to Cranbourne to look over a couple of Urels, and then I went to Flemington to look after Steve Johnson, one of Steve Johnson's horses. Steve Richards' horses. He's an old client of mine. So I had closed my books, but luckily he sneaks in because he was already a client of mine. So that's what we've been up to, or what I've been up to. It's been a hellishly crazy week. And you know what? It's not going to get any better. Tomorrow, here's the thing. Tomorrow I go and see a horse called Breakup. Breakup has come from Japan. So he's come in from Japan. I'm going into quarantine to make sure that that he's travelled well and everything is good with him. So Breakup is in the Caulfield Cup and the Melbourne Cup. Oh, how cool is this? Obviously, I'm pinging because I've been drinking too much coffee. Sorry, I'm looking at Drew. Because I've had too much coffee and I've been running all morning. So hopefully as this goes, we'll settle down a touch and we'll just get through it. Drew.
For anyone wanting to, which they'll ask later, Benedetta is racing in Sydney at 4:30 this afternoon Australian time.
Not sure, yes.
So there's a few hours if you want to get on that.
We're not encouraging gambling.
Not encouraging gambling?
No.
Hello from Wisconsin.
Hey, Wisconsin, how are you? America's in early.
Rancho Rios. Dominguez, hello Rancho.
Hey, Rancho is probably the ranch.
Share the live. Yeah, guys, can you please share the live on your TikTok as well? That would be amazing.
You can do that. See, I'm technologically challenged. So I've got Drew here. If anyone hasn't seen Drew, he's like a Viking dude with tats and stuff like that. He sounds like he's really proper behind the camera, but, pretty scary dude to look at. Not really. Anyway, he gives me instant street cred. He knows all the technical stuff. I am just along for the ride.
Linda shared the live. Thanks very much for doing that, Linda. Much appreciated.
Thanks, Linda.
You heard much about Ace Bloodstock, Christian. Family friends of ours that are part owners. Ace Bloodstock.
No, I don't. I'm sorry. No.
Sorry. Anne Burgess, hello. Hello, everyone joining us. And we've got people on the YouTube live as well. So let's get into the show.
Let's do it. Let's get ready to rumble. I just want to show you how to check something in the front and how to differentiate between two muscles. So he was pretty sore throughout the front, so I've treated most of it, but I wanted to leave two things. This big pec muscle here, it's a descending pec. I say pec major because it is in people. It's that muscle there. So this muscle is sore, you can see, and this is the bicep right here. So don't just think that these are the chest, because what these muscles are is this muscle here and this muscle here, right? So what I'm going to do, so easy to check, just roll your fingers through them and you'll get a reaction like him. I'm just going to fix it up. I just wanted to show you the difference because I'm trying to make it as basic as possible for everyone. So that's the pec. We saw all the way through here, through to the girth, which is a deep pec that changes things. But just, like I was saying, if you have a horse that feels kind of weird in the front, check the pec or the descending pec and the bicep. I'm just going to fix them up. Raj is going to go into his own little world. Now, just a word of warning, don't do this at home. Don't kneel in front of the horse. This is the first time I've met this horse, but he seems really sweet. There's the first one on. And now we're just going to go to this bit here. And again, Raj will go into his little zone. So he's been having a hard time because he couldn't use his front. I think he did the splits with his front, and so all the chest muscles were really sore on him. So we're going to fix him up, and then he can, then Brian can give him a crack again and see how he goes. But it was minor stuff. It was just a lot, but it was obviously hindering him. So we'll see how we go. So now that's the bicep on, and that's the pec. All right? Good boy. Thanks, mate. Few little things. Oops, it is. Okay, a few little things. You will often hear me clearing my throat or rubbing my nose or doing stuff like that. That's because I'm allergic to horses. I've had 2 sinus operations. Obviously, that's not ideal, but anyway. So excuse me if you hear me doing or touching my face, but it is because of allergies. But I'm not going to stop doing this sort of stuff. The other thing on this video, there are a whole group of muscles that bunch together. There's like about 4 different, I call them reaction points. When I look at things and I get an involuntary spasm, I call them reaction points. So at the front, right at the lower part of the neck on a horse, there's about 4 different reaction points. These sorts of videos, because they all bunch up together, these sorts of videos show you exactly which one to determine. Because if you go, oh, my horse is sore up front, those sorts of videos show you exactly what muscle to check for and how to check for them. Often I say as well is I never know how it looks because I get the person who is holding the horse to film. I don't know what it looks like, so I do make sure that I can show a proper reaction in the horse so you can see exactly how to check your horse and what reaction you're looking for before I fix it. I like to often tell you which horse I'm treating and also which stable, just because I think it's polite, and I like to know the horses' names, even though I always get them wrong, obviously, clearly.
Any suggestions for a horse out in the back? Who's best to get out?
So of course I'm going to say a soft tissue therapist. This is a thing, as far as I'm concerned, there's no such thing as out. Is it like if you're out in the back, what that means? I mean, if we have a misalignment of the back, It's my bias. Soft tissue therapy is my bias. Osteopathy, massage therapists, me, my sort of thing. So I always go soft tissue first. But chiropractic people are going to say get a chiropractor first, and vets are probably going to say get a vet first. So just get a professional in to have a look, or my first plug, or go to my website, langederequine.com, and have a look at the diagnostic component of, or what did we call it? Resource. Go to the diagnostic resource so you can actually learn to check your own horse. So you know if it's a saddle, if it's an organ, if it's a spine, or if it's a muscle. That's the whole reason for my website, is to teach people how to check their horses. And I've really made it simple. If I can understand it, I guarantee you can.
Hello from San Diego, California.
America's jumped in. Hello, San Diego.
How much of your bodywork is Bowen?
Very little, but it's an adaptation of Bowen therapy. Bowen therapy, osteopathy, and a bunch of other stuff. But Bowen therapy is my only qualification. Bowen therapy for humans is my only qualification. I've done a couple of other small courses, thanks to Elizabeth Mitchell, one of my teachers very early on. I've done other animal courses, but it does not look anything like Bowen anymore. And the way I treat is not really Bowen therapy or based on how Bowen works, but it incorporates fascia and the nervous system.
Oh my God, it's unreal that you're allergic to horses. What's the website again? Lindsay Burns. The website is langederequine.com.
And Drew will hopefully put that across the screen right about here.
Yeah, not on the lives though.
Not on the lives.
Stretches or massages for spine near the last rib. Stretches or massages?
Near the last rib is very difficult because it's what I call my Pandora's box. There are so many different things. It can be lumbar spine, it could be lat, it could be pelvic obliques, it could be long isthmus, it could be kissing spine, it could be the saddle, it could be your hindgut, could be a bunch of different stuff. So both. Massages, I prefer massages to stretches. I see often people do the thing where they run their hand over the rump of the horse and the horse arches up. Whenever I see that and the horse really reacts and arches up, I always think, fix the hamstrings, because the horse wouldn't do it if it had its hamstrings fixed. And that's probably where the sore back's coming from.
Hudney says, I just had a walnut and beetroot feta with lemon zesty.
We like that.
Feral Horse Lady, thanks for the roses and the flowers and the likes. Thanks everyone for tapping. Tappy tap tap tap.
Keep. Cool. Next, hamstrings. Fix the hamstrings. There you go. Anyway, just showing you the inner hamstring. So, what sort of work does he do?
Just flat work.
Flat work. All right. So, if you've got usually commonly racing jumpers and anything that pulls a car, is the inside of the hamstring. Like it's this one here, what I'm going to do on this side, and you can see, you don't like that, where the most common place that they actually saw is up high here. Now it's kind of, it doesn't always work the way you want it to. Never work with animals or children. Right where the first stops, yeah? So it's not, I'm not getting too close and personal, but it's right where the first stops where I treat it. Now, if you just treat that commonly, this will still be sore, so I just treat it up here. I'm going to try to do this really quickly. So that's the difference, yeah? Is it still, one sec? Oh no, one sec. Yeah, so have a look before and after, but hamstring. That horse's name is Stinky. He's a real cutie. But anyway, so what the point here was, the inside of the hamstring, before when I was saying about running your hand over the rump of the horse, it's the outer, it's called the biceps femoris that is, that I expect people to have to fix for that reaction to happen. On this, it's the inner hamstring. It's called semimembranosus. Don't worry about the big word. It's the inner hamstring. if you're ever treating the horse and it has a sore hamstring and you feel lower down, I always treat up high here. Look up high, right under the tail. And as I said, right where the first stops. So you're not getting too close and personal. You're not being weird. It's right where the first stops, and check. Because what happens is, if I used to treat down low, and every time I treated it, I realized that most horses still had tight hamstrings, and then I felt up high right in the attachment under the tail, and they were always sore if I treated low. Now, if you treat up high, they're never sore lower down, so it completely fixes it. So it's right at the attachment of semi-mem through. Back to
Do
some
you think
questions.
a lot of people palpate too hard when they're trying to determine pain?
I think that people don't know what they're looking for, so they kind of palpate all over the place. Is not so much because if you get them right, if you know where you're looking, you learn pretty quickly how light or how heavy you can palpate. And so palpation, for everyone who doesn't know, palpation just means checking or feeling. Or so if I'm checking a muscle, I'm palpating for it. It means using my hands to check. I don't like people who use things like lighters, like pens, things like that, because I want you to use fingers so you can actually feel it. Too hard, yeah, you need to be firm, but you need to have feel, you need to be kind to the animal. And I think if the thing that I notice when people are checking is they do weird, like they do too much all over the horse, so they're not being precise enough and they're not really being even. So I don't think, if, say for example, in the loin area, I'm looking at about 5 different things that I'm looking for, 5 different reaction points that I call them. And if I'm really messy, I don't know which one of those is actually sore and which one is not. So too hard, no, I don't see people be too hard, because mostly people love their horses and care for them. Erratic, yes. I think it just comes from not really knowing how to check properly.
What would you give to be just a comment from Ali. What I would give to be able to do what you do, my horse is so accident prone.
I know, horses, huh? Who'd have them?
Are you pressing down with force?
Not when I'm treating. I'm just barely touching. I'm using the muscle as a nervous receptor for the Golgi tendon organ. So if I push, I kind of mess it up because the body sort of feels me pushing. So no, I'm really lightly resting my fingers on. You could push my hands away easily. I'm barely touching the horse. All right. So we're at Benedetta racing today.
Go ahead.
It's so chilled here. It's really cool. I feel like I'm on holiday. Anyway, we're with Benedetta. She's racing in the Silver Eagle, I believe. That's what we're trying to get her in, a 1300 metre. She's just done her last fast work. I'm going over her, making sure that she's okay. Overall, really good. Sorry about all the sounds, but you're in a stable. This is the last bit of her that I'm fixing. Well, in the front, and I'll go to the rear. So overall, she's in excellent condition. For those of you who've been watching my videos and said the last 5 horses I videoed have won their races, well, you know, you've got her to look at on Saturday. Things are looking good. So anyway, she's happy. She was picking grass before. She nearly exploded when she hit a stick with her foot. Anyway, so there we go. She's fine. She's going to be great. Looking forward to Saturday. Thanks, guys. Okay, so that was me flying out on Monday to see Benedetta in Sydney at Randwick Racecourse. The people at Randwick were awesome. I felt like I was on a holiday. It was just so cool. Benedetta, lower neck, she had a few things from travel, but that's to be expected. She had just done her last bit of fast work. She had a little bit of a pick, and then I went over her. It was in a neck that I was showing you. Whenever you are sore in the side of the neck or the lower neck, it's never the side of the neck. I kind of need to say things like, it's not the pole, it's not the side of the neck, it's not the back. So if you're sore in the back, it's not the spine, it is the muscles holding the spine. Here, if you're sore in the lower part of the neck, it's not the lower part of the neck, it's inside. There's this part of this brachiocephalicus or the lower neck attaches to the sternum or right in the neck, and I feel inside here. That's where I was showing her. You can massage the neck for all you're worth. You're not going to fix it. As soon as you go onto the inside where the sternum is, with the attachment of the sternum, you'll fix it. So you're going to find while I'm talking that I'm going to talk a lot about, even though you've got soreness here, you treat somewhere else. In my early days, I always thought that when the back was sore, it was the back. It's not the back. It's the muscles that attach to that point in the back. And they could be from under the horse, like from the groin to the back of the horse, or on top of the horse. So not the back, not the neck. It was brachiocephalicus.
Makes you wonder how many dangerous horses get out to sleep could simply have been that they're just sore.
Oh, put to sleep?
I guess
Yeah,
so.
oh, okay. Yeah, I think people do as much as they can for every horse. You know, people don't put their horse to sleep or, you know, euthanize horses willy-nilly. They generally try to do as much as possible. And that's in every industry, from people carrying them to any type of sport.
Yes, that is what they meant. Thanks, CJ.
Oh, thanks, CJ.
Hello, Serge. Welcome.
Serge.
Welcome.
What's going on, Drew?
Next one?
Next one. Let's do the next one.
Shall we? We're going. All right, we're at Winnie Kelly Racing, Craven Racetrack. Sunny day. This is Rocker. You can see that she's just worked, so we're still a little bit sweaty. But the thing that with her was she was being really dirty. Now, a couple of things with her. She was actually really sore up front. We've treated all the muscles. So she was actually sore through lower neck, pec, bicep, tricep, deep pec through here. She was also sore in the withers. The thing that is still remaining, and sometimes you have to diagnose by omission, but I already knew what we kind of had. Got rid of the muscular stuff. This is the gut, right? Now, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter how light or heavy I touch, you can see the spasming, right? If I just touched her normally here, there's no problem. Even if I poke her, there's no reaction. If I go from the armpit and come a second rib space back and push, there's a vet in the States called Dr. DePaulo.
Dr. DePaulo.
He
I mentioned him a bit.
Also uses
Hi to him.
points to determine what pressure points to determine if you've got ulcers. This, I just say, I call it ulcers. It means it could be acidic, it could be acidosis, lesions, ulcers, whatever. The medication is the same. See your vet. We're going to do something about this little one. We did it here because we're going to be able to show you before and after. So I'll stop poking her, but right about here, right there, armpit, right here, we're going to medicate her, see how she goes, treat to the vet, whatever. Anyway, and we'll show you an after. Thanks.
Well, we'll film an after this week because I'll go to Wendy Kelly's again. I like this. When I say diagnosed by omission, I mean that we can make sure that all the muscles aren't sore around it, so we can determine the difference between if it's a muscular soreness or if it's a gut soreness. Now, as I said here, when I say ulcers, I mean lesions, I mean acidosis, I mean ulcers. So I use that as rather than saying a whole bunch of stuff. The vet has seen to her. She is currently on ulcer medication. We should see pretty quickly what happens. It usually works fairly quickly. You can check that video online on TikTok. Hi again, guys, at TikTok. You can check that video again and see exactly where I mean, but right at the armpit, if you go back a couple of rib spaces. But in this video, you saw, even when I went to the first rib space, she was already really trembling. So that is, for me, how I check acidosis, ulcers and stuff like that.
That's all the videos. We've left a bit of space for TikTok questions today, so if everyone wants to get their questions in on the talk, basically you've got a 10 minutes with the guy you can't get 10 minutes with, so...
Yeah, not in real life.
You don't need to do anything.
Not in real life.
We're going to open the floor for questions, so if you guys, again, if you can share the live as well, get as many people in as possible asking horses, and let's get into it. Peter Jean says, "Hey Christian." I don't know if you know Peter Jean.
Hello, Peter.
Penny says, "How do you treat the?" I'm just going to spell this because PSOAS.
The iliopsoas psoas. This is one that I have done videos on. Sorry. This is one that I've done videos on. The psoas muscle is a groin, well, it's effectively a groin muscle, and what happens in people is if they have a psoas strain, they'll often think that they've done their back or put their back out or injured their back, and they can't straighten their legs. So what happens is your knee crooks up in your body and you can't straighten it. The easiest way, it's going to sound weird, the easiest way that I have found to treat it is if you put one hand at the back of your palm, at the back of the last rib, and then the other palm under the horse, and you come out probably an inch or two from where the belly button is. and you just hold it and be still. You can hold it and be still there for a minute or like maybe even 2 minutes. And it's a really osteopathic way of treating. It's one that I show, it's one that I actually show people how to treat. That's the easiest way. I've done my psoas plenty of times. I've treated it that way. It definitely works. Horse, it'll completely free up your horse. But again, if you're dealing with that Pandora's box area, which has got, like I said, about 8 different attachments to that area, it's where the front of the horse is joined to the back of the horse. So there are so many things holding the horse there. You need to be sure that you understand that there's going to be a possibility of a bunch of different muscles that are going to be sore as well. So if it is truly psoas, what you do, one hand at the last rib, one palm underneath where just to the side of the belly button, and just concentrate and picture a line from each between the hands and just sit with it and just listen and wait, and then that's usually what treats it. Hope that's helpful.
Aaron Edwards, best horse you've ever treated?
This weekend on Sunday. A break-up on Sunday is a Melbourne Cup horse. Best horse I've ever treated. There's Rich Enough. There's Flying Artie, which I've treated. There's I Am a Star, Streets of Avalon. I've treated quite a few. There was one, I've forgotten what it was called. Carlton House for the Queen. I've treated a whole bunch of really good ones.
The Queen of England?
Oh, hello. Well, she didn't call me. It was just in a stable, but she owned it. Yes.
Penny says, thank you for that explanation.
I hope that helps, Penny. That's the easiest way. I know it sounds really simple, but you'll be surprised how well it works.
How long did it take you to perfect your treatments on a horse?
I've been doing it for 25 years, so probably about 25 years. No, in all fairness, because I didn't really have mentors to speak to, it was probably 12 to 15 years of really nutting things through because I had no structure. And then so I'd say for the last 10 years, I've been very good at it. And the last 5 years, I think I've really honed it. So I'm finally really happy with how I treat and what I do and what my knowledge is. But it doesn't mean you know what? I also went yesterday to the Australian Dressage Nationals, which is an Olympic qualifier. I went there to treat Jester Tell's horse. That's Future Farms. And there was a guy there that came up and said hello, and he was a chiropractor from Canada. So anyway, he came and said hello, even though chiropractic is not my bias, and I talk about Dr. Mike, who I follow on TikTok. Even though that's not my bias, I like everything, and I know enough to know that I'm always willing to learn things. And so, you know what, I would learn plenty from him and plenty from Dr. Mike, and I'm always open to learning things, but I'm pretty happy with, I'm not searching for any particular way to treat right now, because I'm pretty happy with what I'm capable of, and I'm entirely too busy, so, you know, it's probably a good show of how good I am.
Daniel has joined from Canada and gives you a wave.
Hey Daniel, thanks for coming from Canada. It's awesome.
Someone, very strange name. I'm going to try and pronounce it correctly. It looks like Pucci. You are the hottest husband.
Hello Pucci. There you go. That's my wife Pucci. I don't know where she's probably at work and between clients at work. Hi Pucci. Hello. Thank you. I'm glad I'm the hottest husband.
Jackson's joined us. Hey, Jackson.
Oh my God, Jackson.
Pucci with the smiley cry faces.
All right.
Now, Penny. Sorry
Hey,
for all the questions. I'm a really big fan. When can we do your course? So she's looking for a timeline on it.
Okay, so you can already do my diagnostic resource. You can check out the diagnostic resource on langeder.equine.com. There is, I say this most times, all right, so there is a free module. If you go there and click on and it says an example of a module, go and have a look. For each reaction point or for each muscle, there are 2 videos, written content, and an anatomical diagram. Go have a look at that. Go have a look at that as an example. But, you know, the actual course of treating, I'm writing it at the moment. I hope it's done in 6 months. That's the idea. And then we'll have a certificate course whereby you can learn how to treat, how I treat. Having said that, if you can check a horse and you know which muscle it is, you can almost do anything to a muscle to help it, like rub it, massage it, use a machine, use anything that's available to you. So I recommend, obviously I recommend checking out my website, having a look at the diagnostic resource. It will help you. Then just rub it. But my treatment course will be 6 months away, I expect.
Awesome. Just want to tell the YouTube people, thank you so much for joining in. We are having some connection issues. It was a little bit tight getting it up and running today, but next week we'll have it totally sorted. Should be a really good experience. So
It should be a good experience.
Jump over and hit the YouTube channel. Sorry, here we go.
How are we going, Drew?
Do you use different muscle twitches and movements to guide you?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So I'll look for involuntary spasms. I have a pattern of a horse in my head. It's which I teach.
Skin on or skin off?
Oh yeah, good question. In my head, on, off.
Yeah.
Don't know. Off. the picture in my diagnostic thing is the skin off, so you can actually see. But I have a picture, I call it the furry puzzle. So, so it must have skin on, Drew. Otherwise it would be the muscle puzzle. So I have a picture of the horse in my head. I know what all the twitches mean. And in my website, it teaches you what other considerations you have. So when I see a twitch at a particular point, I'm always checking about 3 or 4 or 5 other different areas that I know will usually contribute to that particular spasm. And so I get a map of each horse and I treat from there.
Apu says, who wins the Everest? Very simple question.
Who wins the Everest?
Yeah.
I have no idea. Didn't we have someone give us a tip for the Everest? I don't know. See, Apu, the problem is because I'm so busy and because I'm in my own little cocoon, unless I've come in contact with the horse itself, like Benedetta today and like Breakup soon, and Rick's Cafe last night, I actually don't get to lift my head up and have a look around for too long. So I'm not sure. I don't even know who's in the Everest. That sounds really shocking, but I really don't.
Pucci's got a 2-part question, maybe because she's joined a little later after you mentioned it. First is, when does Benedetta run?
Today, this afternoon. Do we know what time? I'm not sure.
It's 4 something.
4 something. It's in the afternoon. It's race 8 today at Randwick.
And are you treating any horses for the Cup?
Yes, of course. We just spoke about Breakup. Yes, we're the Japanese horse, Breakup. It's going to be interesting. I get to see it this Sunday. I'm so excited about it. I've had to go through an induction of quarantine induction. I'm going to go there tomorrow. They've explained to me all the do's and don'ts. They've explained to me how important it is that I do the real thing and how important it is that I don't have my car keys in my pocket while I'm with the horse because I won't get them back for 2 weeks.
Granny's Undies.
Hello, Granny's Undies. I love the name.
Part of the team.
Yeah.
Can horses get arthritis?
Oh, absolutely. Everything can get arthritis. They show usually, that's what kissing spine is as well to a point, or it can be just any arthritic changes, or kissing, obviously rubbing. But yes, they definitely get arthritis. More commonly in the lower back and the knees, but I'm sure it happens everywhere just like us.
The Jaded Trail says, how's your shoulder?
My shoulder is good. It does most things now. For those who don't know, I had 7 months off earlier this year because I was treating a little thoroughbred yearling. She just twitched, but unfortunately what happened was as she twitched, she just smashed my shoulder up. She dislocated my shoulder and ripped all the muscles off the front of my shoulder. This is why I wrote my website, because I had time to do nothing. My surgeon had to reattach everything, and he told me if I went anywhere near a horse in the next 7 months, he would personally find me, hunt me down and kill me. The idea was basically if anything happened to this shoulder, I would no longer have a shoulder to use. So now, thank you, it actually works great. There are a couple of things that I find difficult to do, but aside from that, it's good. Like opening the glove box if I'm in the car is very difficult still, but I can do everything I need to do. Drew, he's concentrating.
Penny, who has asked a couple of questions. Says, thank you for that. I'm an equine Bowen therapist looking to build on that, so I guess her information. Christian has not agreed to this at all, but in future one day, I'm trying to get him to maybe go in on a live with TikTok participants. So maybe in future, if we can run the numbers up and I can convince him to give me another half an hour, we can start bringing people into the lives and you can ask questions and have a one-on-one chat. That would be amazing if other therapists were involved.
And just so you know, Penny, I adore Bowen therapy. I think it's an amazing therapy. It is what I was qualified in. The reason why I became qualified in Bowen therapy was because in '99 I broke my back in 3 places. And when I was trying to get it fixed, the only person who was able to fix me, and they did an amazing job, was a Bowen therapist. For those of you in America or anywhere else in the world, Bowen therapy is an Australian-based therapy. There's a guy called Tom Bowen. He was just a bit of a whiz, and he was smart enough to teach people, and that's what I'm trying to do with my stuff. Amazing guy. I've managed to have dinner with his daughters and have a chat with them. I think it's an incredible therapy. I think it's very subtle and very simple, but one of the most dynamic therapies that are available to people or animals.
Want to really shout out Kelly Kazmarek. First question on YouTube. So
YouTube question. Well done, Kelly.
Thanks, Kelly. What do you do to keep your old magic hands in shape? Do they ever cramp up?
Oh, they do. Putchie, my wife, gave me like an hour hand massage the other day. Look, you know what happened was probably about 6 years ago, they started getting really sore, like my knuckles started getting really sore, and I thought it was the end of my career. And then it did that for about 6 months. Then all of a sudden they freed up, and now they don't get tired, they don't get sore, they don't get anything. They just seem to keep going. So I don't do much. Like I said, my gorgeous wife, Putchie, massaged them the other day. She's a sweetheart. She looks after them. But aside from that, I probably neglect them a fair bit.
Granny Sunnies again. Have you ever treated a horse that had Hendra virus?
No. No, I haven't. I think Hendra is mostly in Queensland, from my understanding. No, I haven't. Sorry, Granny Sunnies, but good question. But I that's probably more of a vet thing, even though it being a virus, they're probably achy through all their muscles.
I've got a technical question from Crystal Martin. Hi, Crystal.
Ooh,
how far down the back does the lat muscle attach?
Oh, not far. Probably just before the last rib. So you would think it is further, but it's actually, have a look at an anatomical diagram that will show it, or if it's the superficial muscles. It doesn't go that far down the back, and it goes to the other attachment is at the tricep, at the back of the tricep. I just like to keep things as simple as possible so, people can understand.
Hi, Olivia. Would you come to the Gold Coast?
What do you say, Drew?
Send a jet.
Send a jet. Not at the moment. Not with the... I'm so busy. I talked to Drew. Drew keeps on saying, man, you should go to all these places. I am so stuck in Melbourne right now. Now, obviously, as Drew likes to say, any crazy offer, we'll accept any crazy offers. But the fact is, Spring Carnival is Melbourne or Sydney. I am pretty heavily stuck in Melbourne. I'm mostly stuck around Cranbourne Racecourse. It's one of the biggest courses probably in Australia. So I'm really heavily stuck there, but I'm very stuck in Melbourne with all the horses that I have to treat and maintain. So not likely that I'll get up to Queensland anytime soon, unfortunately.
But Christian really appreciates the interest.
Oh, absolutely. I love it. I definitely, once I've written the course and the actual course of how to treat, and I've put it online, I am definitely intending on doing clinics, and then I will definitely travel. How that's going to look or how that's going to work, I'm not sure yet, because I don't have much time in a day anyway. But I absolutely am determined to make the teaching part of it work.
Georgia Bennett says, tips for a weak stifle.
Oh, yeah. So the attachment for biceps femoris, hills, poles, going uphill, etc. You know what? They're the things that I would do. I would check for soreness right at the back of the stifle, at the attachment of biceps femoris. there's a video of a grey horse somewhere in the TikTok stuff, or you could go to my website and have a look. Where there's a teardrop muscle, it's the caudal part of the biceps femoris, or it's where the hamstring attaches into the back of the stifle or the back of the knee. And so what happens is you can have a look at those, but, basically using it, trying to get them to use a whole range of motion. You could use a water treadmill, so long as the water wasn't too high. You could, go up hills, do poles.
Virginia Tormay, do you ever do work on... It says brood mares.
Brood mares, yes, I do. I was actually at Musk Creek Farm the other day. We sometimes treat their brood mares. Musk Creek Farm is a thoroughbred breeding farm in Flinders. I was there the other day treating, and it was pretty hellish weather, but yes, we definitely look after brood mares as well.
Another comment on the YouTubes. Thanks so much, Jenny Hopkins.
Yeah.
Ooh, clinics would be awesome. Thank you. So looking forward to your course.
I would love to do clinics. Obviously, that's where we're going. But firstly, I've got to just create all the content for those. And being so busy actually treating, because I love treating, being so busy treating, that kind of takes second place at the moment. But I need to make sure that I get onto it more.
Love your videos, Megan Ann. Extremely helpful. Thanks so much.
Thank you. That's a whole thing about these. So, you know what? I know you could probably binge watch all my videos, but I like that people love the videos. I like that they're helpful. The whole point of this is to be helpful. So I love the fact that everyone is asking questions, that people get something out of it. The whole idea is to watch a video, go to the barn, go to your stable, whatever, go out to the paddock and check your own horse and get familiar with them. I don't care if you're brushing them and you see what twitches they have, or if you're just feeling all over them. I think that we just people need to learn, or they don't need to, but it's so cool to be able to teach people how to get to know their horses better, and all those sort of little things are just helpful.
Tori, hey Tori, I have a mare that has the lines in her neck. What do you recommend for muscle recovery and moving?
If you're talking about the lines in the neck just above the spine, it means that the serratus muscle, the muscle that actually holds the neck up, so it goes from the spine, and the spine in a horse is lower than you might think. So the spine is right at the bottom, and the serratus actually goes from each of the vertebrae and it goes up into the shoulder. So if you've got lines like that, it's not the lower neck, it's actually just above the spine. I would just massage it. And also you could do carrot stretches, right? But if you're doing carrot stretches, I would make sure that your horse brings their neck lower from side to side, so you stretch that part of the neck. So massage the neck, use carrot stretches, and do a bit of side-to-side action with the horse.
Amazing. Thanks, Tori.
Good question. Thank you.
Megan Ann, you helped me properly diagnose my horse with hindgut ulcers. Thanks so much.
See, that's the whole idea. The whole idea, again, I keep saying, the whole idea is to help create awareness, teach you how to know what to do, what's going on with your horse. So you can either help it yourself, talk to the right professional, not the wrong professional, and also explain to them clearly what you're finding. Because if you just say, my horse is sore somewhere over here, or something's wrong, or anything like that, this is what I'm trying to do, is teach you how to be able to go over your horse and be able to say to a vet or a saddle fitter, look, the saddle is sore at the rear of the saddle because it's shifting, and I can tell that because of this. And so if you have more of a knowledge of what sort of reactions to look at on your horse, you're going to be able to talk to the professionals way better. If you have sore muscles, muck around, rub them, massage them. Just check out one of my, or a couple of my videos, TikTok videos. Have a look and see if your horse has it. Realize figure out which muscle it is, and then just massage it. So, I promise you it'll help. This is the whole idea.
Robin and Angel, hi. What do you recommend for a horse that is twitchy in her girth and on her neck?
Yeah, that's there's a lot there. Girth, there could, girth could be withers, could be tricep, could be lat, could be deep pec, could be gut, could be the saddle. So this is why I speak about diagnosing by omission. You need to know what it's not as well as what it is to be able to determine if it's girthy. In America, they call it cinching. So if you're cinchy or girthy, then you need to be able to determine what muscles it isn't or what problems it isn't just as much as what it is. So really big question, really difficult to explain without having a horse in front of me and without you knowing what I'm talking about.
This is back to Tori again.
Hey, Tori.
Would you recommend 1 times a week treatment, or what would that look like?
No, I would recommend having it treated once by someone that knows what they're doing, and then you could do your carrot stretches, probably your stretches once a week. You don't need to overstretch, because the thing is, once you've opened up the connective tissue and the muscles are stretched, you don't need to do it daily. I worry more about people doing things too often than not often enough. So I don't want you to bully the horse, but definitely have someone treat it, or even just massage. Now that I told you it's serratus, just roll through them or massage the actual muscle. Have a look on either my website, or have a look at an anatomical diagram of a horse, understand where the serratus is, and give it a rub yourself, and then just do stretches either side. Stretches once a week. A professional shouldn't have to see it once a week. That means you need a new therapist.
Megan, I mean, this is what you really want. My vet was amazed that I gave the exact reason, an area for why I thought hindgut ulcers, and we found it kind of cuts out there, but I think, this is
what I'm doing. What I'm doing. So you can actually talk to your vet. You know what?
Correct treatment plan for him. Sorry,
See,
follow it up. Yep.
What was her name? Sorry.
That's Megan Ann.
Thank you, Megan Ann. That's exactly why I'm doing this, because you know what? You can get a therapist out and they won't know, and then you can get your vet out and they're like, oh, I'm not sure about this, and then you find out that it's your saddle. You've already spent a ton of money just trying to find out what I'm trying to teach you. So I love that you did that. I love that you are able to determine that it's definitely the hindgut. It's not a muscle. It's not the spine. It's not the pelvis. And so when you do that, you can go and you can have a proper conversation with your professional, like your vet. If your vet goes, oh, maybe it's the pelvis, you can go, look, obviously not. And you can check and show that it's non-reactive in the pelvic area, but you can go, look, we really think it's the gut. And then they can go from there. Now, from there, as I say, I like to stay in my lane. I like to let the professionals or the specialists do their part. But at least you can have a proper conversation, and you won't be, I hate to say it, but you won't be tricked by therapists. You won't be tricked by vets because they have more knowledge than you. If you can't feel it, then it doesn't exist. So I know a lot of people that get therapists out, and therapists are treating their horses weekly, etc. This helps you say, this bit is sore, fix it. So that's what I like. So really good. I'm so glad it was helpful.
Yeah, guys, this is exactly what Christian doesn't like to beat a dead horse, pardon the pun, about sending you to the website. But what the diagnostic resource is really about is what you're asking him about here. So everything that you're getting from the lives, which he absolutely loves and we're going to continue to do, you can ask that to the diagnostic resource on the website. It's going to give you the same information aside from treatment.
And it'll have me in front of a horse, and it'll also have anatomical diagrams and everything written out, and videos. So in the videos, I try to make it as simple as possible, and I have the horse in front of me so you can actually see what's going on. But I love the point that she could actually talk to the vet and help get stuff done quicker and more cheaply.
Tori, I am a part of your online website. Sounds like she's a subscriber.
Hey, Tori, thank you. I hope it's helpful.
I'm really looking forward to learning more. Thank you for sharing your knowledge.
So cool.
Megan, again, another follow-up. Yes, my vet didn't have much experience with it, and he referred me to colleagues for better advice.
Yeah, how cool is that? That's so cool. See, I've always liked if you speak to a vet that they speak to you like you know what they're talking about. But to do that, you need to know what they're talking about. So, if you can be on a more even par with your therapist and your vets and your saddle fitter and your dentist and your farrier and everything, I think it makes it much easier for them, and it makes it much better for you and much better for your horse, which is the ultimate reason why we're doing it.
I've got to call it shortly. Christian has
Yes.
other appointments that we have to move him on to. It's wonderful material and insight on the website. Again from Tori.
Thank you, Tori.
So much. Appreciate
That is
it.
so cool, and I hope it's simple. Well, obviously you like it, so that's what I love. Thank you. That's so cool.
Susan Para Equestrian. Thanks for the help last week.
Yeah. Hello. How'd you go? I need to know how you went. My pleasure. How cool was that? So Susan, I mentioned in the last week's show, I went to have a look at Susan's horse. His name was Bodie, but I'm going to get it. Bodie or Bogey. I should probably put it up. Anyway, he was a little bit grumpy to start, but it was so cool. She's at the Australian Dressage Nationals. I'm about to go back there at the moment to... Do we have a name?
Odie.
Odie. Close.
Susan says, we got national champion.
There you go. Well done. See, here we go. Another winner.
You just can't stop
Thank
winning.
you. That's so cool. And so it was really cool. She had come over from Western Australia. The horse had travelled seriously, you're travelling a horse for that distance. And so cool that she did so well. How cool is that? I love this stuff. Thank you. Thanks so much. If you're there, I'm going to be there in about a little while because I've got to look over a few horses. So come and say hi.
My OTTB
Yes, off the track thoroughbred.
was unfortunately ear twitched on the track. Any advice for helping his Atlas/pole?
It's not the pole. I'm going to say a couple of things that are going to be probably not really popular. In my very early days, I worked with dogs, and the best way to treat an abused dog is to stop treating it like it was abused. So I'm the same with horses. I know people twitch them, neck twitch them, ear twitch them, nose twitch them, do all sorts of stuff like that. If we perpetuate that, then they're going to keep being shy of it. It's never the pole. I'm going to do T-shirts or something. It's never the pole. I know the Atlas. Yep, absolutely. Have a look at what I would look at is I would look at TMJ hyoid C2, and I would massage those muscles. If you want to know how to check those, go to my website, langederequine.com. It will teach you, or you can binge watch my TikToks, and you will definitely come up with it. At some point, it will show you how to check all of those.
Laura B says, the legend is live.
Ooh, hello. Thank you. That's a bit, but thanks. I'll take it.
Deb says, hi, how are you?
I'm good. Thank you, Deb.
Penny Courtlang says, apparently Penny's a fan.
Oh.
It's never the pole.
Yes, it's not the pole. I'd love to every time someone says, this is the thing. Every time someone says, oh, my horse's pole is out, I'd love for people to go, it's just never the pole. I'm sure it'd be like really polarizing, but it's true. It's not the pole. Anyway.
Jen, thank you. Checked her hamstring. One side indeed was tight.
Yeah, so cool. She's probably in the barn with her horse and her phone. I love it. I love it. I think it's brilliant.
Do you believe in Cairo?
Yeah. Oh, look, you know what? It is not my bias. Do I believe in it? Yes, it absolutely does stuff. Is it my bias? No. Do I want to learn it? No. Do I have people that I respect that do it? Absolutely. But, I believe in it. But, I think the body reacts to being treated in a whole bunch of different ways. That's why we can have acupuncture, Bowen therapy, my stuff, osteopathy, chiro, all that sort of stuff. Yes, I believe in it. Would I? Is it my bias? Would I do it? No, I don't want to learn it. I prefer soft tissue therapy for me.
Chris says, I'm excited I finally caught you live.
Oh, hello.
Or Crystal Bell.
Yes. Yeah. Hi, how are you going? I keep looking at the wrong camera, but yes, you have. And we're going to do this again next week. So if people want to just come, watch, do whatever, midday next week in the States. I keep using LA because I've got friends in LA, but LA time 6 p.m. We can sit here and talk shit and answer questions and have a chat. And yes, I'm absolutely here. I have very limited time, so Drew has kind of forced me to do this block whereby I stop for a second and talk to people.
All right. Do you have a course, Helen? Hi, Helen. You want to?
Yes, I have a diagnostic. It's not a course; it's a resource, but it will teach you how to check your horse. It will teach you everything you need to know how to check your horse. For the people who have already been on this and seen it, go to my website, langederequine.com. Have a look. There's a free module. You can check it out. Of course, teaching what I do is on its way. Yes.
Christian, Beryl and I have missed you. This is from someone called Emily Macha.
Oh,
Beryl and I have missed you.
Beryl's the horse.
I'm assuming.
Yes. I'm going to be real. I can't.
Helen,
Sorry.
I'm in a class for bodywork. I'm really excited.
Yeah.
Yeah, the course is definitely coming. Beryl is a Shetland. Beryl the Shetland.
Whereabouts are you?
You know Beryl the Shetland.
Whereabouts? You know what? You can text me and abuse me
Emily, give us more context.
Anyway.
I'm getting my equine massage.
Here's the problem when I find.
Talkie.
Oh, see, this is the thing. I get that, and all of a sudden I go, oh yes, it's the same. Sorry. I apologise. It's the same as when I see people out and I'm used to seeing them in all their farm gear and I'm like, I know you, and then you realise where you know them from and you feel extremely embarrassed like now.
Is there a noticeable difference, guys? If you've got any further questions, we're going to call it in 2 or 3 minutes.
Yeah.
So please run them up.
I have to run.
Is there noticeable differences between treating geldings and mares?
Only if you're dealing with things like ovary issues or, that sort of stuff, but not really, just a trickiness in attitude. I treat a lot of stallions as well. So, structurally they're all the same. The only thing with the mares is that if I'm looking at a hindgut problem, then I always have a consideration that we might have ovarian cysts or stuff like that.
Helen wants to know, how did you start, if you want to give it abridged?
Yep, I injured myself. I started working with dogs, actually, dogs and rescue animals, native Australians. And then I treated a dog for a race trainer who drove me into treating horses. He actually has a horse racing today called She Light, Ken Keys. They're sort of like family to me now. They were the ones that gave me my very first horse. Good luck to them. I think it's in the Guineas today. So good luck. But yeah, so I fixed a dog for them. They got me into horses. I was never going to be doing horses ever in my lifetime. And here we are.
What's the biggest issue overall that you see? Is there a...
Most common?
Yeah.
The most common issues I see are lower neck and inner hamstrings, without a doubt. They're the two most, and they're from collection in the neck and just driving from the rear. And so, yeah, hamstrings, inner hamstring, semimembranosus and brachiocephalicus, but right in the insertion into the sternum. They're my two most common.
Awesome. Before Christian says goodbye, I just want to chat to the TikTok people really briefly, a little bit of housekeeping and admin. The support on TikTok is insane. It's so great.
It's nuts.
And I know personally that Christian is just very, very appreciative and loves all you guys. If you can help me out, the invisible voice behind the camera, we're trying to hit a target that's going to change the YouTube preferences and that sort of stuff. It's an hours watching thing. We've got enough fans. There's enough subscribers, but we really need the hours jacked up. That's where we put this thing we're filming at the moment.
Yeah.
If anyone has the time or the inclination, jumping over to YouTube and watching some of the long form ones and giving us a subscribe would be so much appreciated. But thank you for hanging out here. And Christian, please close the show.
Thank you. All right, so now I'm off to the Australian Dressage Nationals. We're going to have a look at a few horses there that are riding. What else? Big thing this week, I'm so excited about looking at this Japanese horse that's come over from the Cup. I cannot wait. It's going to be insane. I'm definitely going to film it. It's interesting. The manager of the horse said, we like that you're on social media, so you use me, we use you. And I'm like, how cool is this? So ideal. I'll try to film as much of the process of going through quarantine so you can actually see what I have to go through. It's apparently quite an in-depth thing. I'm not taking the phone into the shower. But aside from that, I'm going to try to take all of as much footage as I can so you can see what we do to try to get these horses from other countries to Australia so they can race in the Melbourne Cup. I think it'd be a really cool behind the scenes view of it. But I'm held up by what they allow and what they don't allow, so I'll try to do as much as possible, but I'm looking forward to this. It's going to be absolute, and to check out a Japanese horse and see how it looks, how it feels, what different things they do, it's just, I'm so excited about it. It's going to be awesome. So thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was helpful. I loved some of the questions. It was really cool. I like that we spoke to a few people we knew. That is really cool as well. And we'll see you next time. Until then, do all the likes and everything that Drew tells you to do that I don't know anything about. But anyway, thank you for watching. I hope it's good. Thank you. See ya.